AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Rick Carlisle going through all these different teams. Like, these are different iterations of different eras, 2 different decades plus. He's been around the Pacers 3 different times. 3 different times. So when he won the chip with Dallas, stayed with Dallas, quit Luka. He was beefing with Luka, if I'm not mistaken, Jason Kidd and Rajon Rondo, 3 different point guards, because he's confrontational. And, you know, we see that in Tibbs. We see other players that, you know, these coaches, they have the ability to go, you know what? These guys can play basketball, like you're saying right now with Deuce and everybody else. These guys can play. And then the separation between the Carlisle and Tibbs is, even if you don't think you like them or they're not accepting of your game plan, why are you coaching with expectations for them? Which is always kind of my beef with you and you and Flea, because I think it was Sandman on Twitter. He was saying like, yo, what if Richard Robinson got a jump hook? I'm like, bro, I don't expect him to have a jump hook, shoot a 3-point shot, none of that. I coach, I like, I play 2K, or I just watch the game and I form my opinion based on what they tend to do, their tendency. Thibodeau is trying to make people do what they're not supposed to be doing, playing 40 minutes a game, you know, just because they don't do what you expected them to do. Where's your adjustment in your game plan? And I think that's a failure in coaching. That's where me and you that's where we align right there, where we intersect, and Flea kind of departs, because he still expects the players to have a better expectation of themselves. Because for me, I didn't expect it to work out primarily because of Tibbs from when we got Cat. Rick Carlisle would have figured this out. He would not have brought Brunson back in the game in the 4th quarter in game 1. That's what I wanted to get to at a certain point when we went live. I was going to go through the lineup in that game 1. Like, everybody's focused on that. Game 1, that really ruined us. It really haunted us. No, game 1 of the 82 regular season is what haunted us. Thibodeau was not preparing us from the beginning. And then the players, and you get PJ Tucker, and where was that at? Where was it at where you go, Karl Anthony Towns has been in the league 10 years. How does he get the ball best? There's no way you could tell me that Jalen Brunson can score a basket easier than a 7-foot dude who can shoot a 3. Doesn't make any sense to me. And there was never anything to make his job easier, in my opinion. Karl Anthony Towns was wearing down the whole season. Where were the plays for him to run? How come he wasn't running more plays, especially when last season you're trying to get over losing Iheart, Randall, who ran screens, dribble handoff, drive and kick. They're creating a lot of offense. So Cat is replacing that. We saw Nick Nurse move Joel Embiid further out to the 3-point line, and he started dictating where the ball went, because Joel Embiid wasn't great with his back to the basket and getting the ball to his teammates. Cat is a great passer. So that, to me, is the first mistake in this season. And I guess I responded to what you said. We got too many players that I like to root for, even though you don't like. I think what you say, you don't like Josh Hart. Where we start to meet again in the middle is where I don't like Josh Hart playing 35 minutes. I don't like Josh Hart thinking he's a primary contributor to the team. He's gonna make impactful contributions, but you got to limit that shit to 20. The same way you give Mitchell Robinson 20 minutes. Yo, give him 25 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. Because now he can really focus on those times and be a burst of speed. We talked about Mike Malone, Russell Westbrook. Bro, that was their beef with the Denver Nuggets. Their major beef with Mike Malone was, you playing Russell Westbrook too many minutes. It's no disrespect to him, but if he's the energetic, erratic superstar, that same erratic energy, we see it in crunch time. He's making decisions that we do not like and we do not need. It ruins us. It especially in the playoffs. He's going to make mistakes. He can't hit the shot, the corner 3. Same thing with Josh Hart. He might get a great rebound, but what do we do after that if he's on the court and he's making these decisions? So to not be able to coach around that, and Josh Hart played 21 minutes last night. So now all of a sudden his minutes shrink. That's my beef. Yo, bro, it took you to be down 0-2. You lost us 2 games at home in the Eastern Conference. We can blame the players all we want to. Those 2 games were not just lost within those 2 games. Those 2 games were lost through the 82 games that you didn't practice what you thought could have happened in the playoffs. How you should have prepared yourself. Forget the team. You should have prepared. You've been preparing yourself. Oh, boy. You don't remember me stressing this shit last year? First round, 76ers. I don't care if we won this series. How the hell are you waiting for game 4 to play Precious Achua and Mitchell Robinson just came back from injury and Embiid is struggling against athletic forwards and you keep Hartenstein on them? Like, you didn't learn. You didn't learn until your job was on the line because you knew if you got swept, you're fired. Now they're saying your job is protected. You know, Brunson came in the press conference and acted like anybody was ridiculous for asking him whether Tibbs' job was secure or not. No, we have every right to ask that question. It's like Stephen A. Smith's dumbasses on ESPN. I have to see that stupid that video. We can't discredit Tom Thibodeau. Why the hell not? We could discredit Brunson too. We love you, but this was not a great series. This was they forced you to be the lack of a point guard that you were and not get everybody involved. Had us arguing over it. And you know, the ball hawk thing got to us, but more particularly just it was the coaching and just the lack of preparation for a dude who's damn near a basketball genius to be if he's not one and call out all ball.
I'm not a big Carlisle fan like everybody else. He is a great head coach. Is he arguably top 10? He's not top 5. But is he arguably top 10? Okay, maybe. That'll be for another day. But I watched Rick Carlisle get swept last season in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm not a big Carlisle guy, but he's definitely a better head coach than Tom Thibodeau. There's half the coaches in the NBA are a better coach than Tom Thibodeau. I'm not arguing with nobody over Tom Thibodeau no more.
Right.
I've been saying it. I've been saying it since I've been on social media, and you can attest to that. I never liked Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Simple and plain. We was thirsty to re-sign Precious, and then you don't even play him.
Right. Oh my God.
So for me, I watched Will Carlisle yesterday, and I kept telling y'all they beat us with the bench, and Rick Carlisle purposely threw in our face. I'm gonna show you what we can do with Obi Toppin against y'all in the elimination game. I'm gonna put in Bryant, who's a bum. Let's be realistic, but I know how to utilize him. The way Tom Thibodeau doesn't know how to utilize Precious, Shamit, Deuce, he just doesn't. But we have to be honest, and I said this a long time ago, and I get a lot of flack for it, but it's the truth. Our Knicks, going back to the Patrick Ewing days, we try to get over with mediocre talent. When the NBA is as talented as it is, let's go back to the Starks days. We going up against Jordan with John Starks. Now we're going up against the people considered the greatest talents ever. But look at our talent. If we're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. But the coaching is a problem. Look at the assistant coaches. Look at the bench. Just look at everything. For me, I hate when this is not a success. If you don't win a championship, it is not a success. When you build a team to win a championship, this team wasn't built to go to the second round into the conference finals. You don't give up everything you give up to lose to the Pacers in 6 games when you had home court advantage, and throughout the whole season you were the better team. You don't go into Indiana in a game 6 and get blown off the floor where your top 2 players are terrible. So and then the coaching is horrific. Listen, this is sad. And now going into next season, if there's no moves being made, you can't go back with this team. Tim's he doesn't even fight for us. There were games where, as a coach, he was supposed to get tech and get kicked out. At times, the way we were being officiated, um, like I said, he barely challenges. I rarely see him really like I said, after games, I watched that Detroit Piston coach fight for his team one time. I said I would love to play for a guy like that. I think it was when they played against OKC. You know, people with the SGA, with the what they call them the free throw merchant, whatever it is.
Right.
But I watched that head coach go berserk for his team. Tom Thibodeau just sits there with his hands crossed. I've been said this a while ago. Tom Thibodeau been checked out. Been checked out. Been checked out. You have a coach across from you that you know is a smart, good head coach, and you do nothing to make him think. Nothing. Nothing at all. Not one time in this series against Indiana did Tom Thibodeau do anything that went, oh shit. Nothing.
Well,
Literally nothing.
I think the starting Mitchell Robinson thing and going 10-man
Bro, he was
rotation.
forced to do that.
Right, right,
The world went crazy.
right. What I'm saying is, if this is chess, all right, you made your move. Now you didn't. This is going back to Carlisle's
But,
experience.
but
You made one move and thought one step ahead. Carlisle saw that and he gave you two tricks.
But Fabian, check it though. But the job was already done. You did
Right.
that when we was down 0-2. Now
0-2.
if you do that game one, because remember, in the locker room, they planning against that five. Now just imagine there's no reports, there's no nothing. Game one in the Garden, Hart is not starting, Mitch is starting. Bro, he did that after we down 0-2. Bro, the job was already done.
Yeah.
I do not understand how people can defend Tom Thibodeau. Ever. Forget with the Knicks. Ever. He had prime Derrick Rose, won conference finals. He had a prime Wiggins, Cat, and Jimmy Butler. Never got out the first round. Now you get a Knicks team where you get everything you need year after year. Let's be for real, year after year. Last year, you had game 7 at home and you lost. This year, you're the better team, home court advantage, and you let the bench players outplay you. Brian and Obi Toppin won that game last night. Why? Because you have guys on the floor that miss assignments, can't guard nobody. Every time you watch Josh Hart, he's looking somewhere else besides his defender. You keep Mikal Bridges out there for what? For what? How many times have I seen things going good with Shaman and guys on the court and then you sub them out? Why? Because your guys got to get their minutes? Tom Thibodeau doesn't coach to win. He coaches to stay on the good side of the guys. That's why a Brunson can go, no, because he's going to let you do what you want to do. He ain't going to hold you accountable. Anybody that's been a baller, I don't care how tired you are, you never want to come out the game. So now I got a coach that's going to give me 40 plus minutes, let me do what I want, run whatever play I want, and you ain't going to hold me accountable? You ain't going to curse me out? You ain't going to do nothing? Oh, that's my coach for life. That's why nobody like Kobe. God rest his soul. You hear all the stories about Kobe now? How am I gonna get better with these niggas? Y'all gonna make my game worse. You niggas take my sneakers off, bro.
Yeah.
I'm watching you bum ass niggas in practice. Nah. That's coaching.
And we hold Bridges' feet to the fire. We all have since he got traded for 5 draft picks. But the response to him calling out Tom Thibodeau throughout, they try to clean that up so quickly, and just the arrogance, the doubling down of, yeah, well, you're gonna play 40 minutes again. And this is the Iron Man on the team telling you, no, we can't play. See, everyone loves to point to the SGAs of the world, whoever it is. Bro, SGA has like 2 or 3 guys that could go handle the ball for him. He could go sit down. You know how many times everyone keeps saying this about SGA? How many blowouts have they been in this year, this season, including the playoffs? How many fourth quarters he's taken off? We have not had that luxury. And it's just the fact that he responds to Mikal Bridges 3 months later in the playoffs down 0-2. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.